You're listening to the X-Zone Broadcast Network, www.xzbn.net. You're listening to the X-Zone Broadcast Network, www.xzbn.net. Radio's authority on the world of the paranormal and the science of parapsychology, celebrating 25 years of broadcasting. Broadcasting around the world and to the great beyond.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Welcome back, everyone. This is the X-Zone. I am Rob McConnell, and we're coming to you from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Worldwide toll-free 800-610-7035. Email xzone at xzoneradiotv.com. On all social media sites, X-Zone Radio TV, and our main website where you can listen to the X-Zone 724-365, as well as the live broadcast Monday through Friday from 8 p.m. Eastern until midnight at www.xzoneradiotv.com. And the X-Zone is happy to say that we are now broadcast on Radio X in Europe. It is the only English commercial radio station in Belgium. My guest this hour is Robert Caruso. He is well known to people all over the world and from all walks of life for his accurate psychic readings. He resides in Dallas, Texas, but travels all over the world doing psychic readings and teaching classes. Robert speaks English with no New Age jargon to muddle the message for his clients. Robert believes that developing the intuition that is part or everyone can enhance and even save lives. He developed a program designed to show that psychic ability is in every human being and teaches techniques that can be used to develop it. Joining me now is Robert Caruso. And Robert, welcome to the X-Zone.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going pretty good, thanks, Robert. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been doing this. I've done paranormal. I do a lot of mostly psychic work.
Right.
Do some medium work, and I've been doing it about. I guess we're coming up on 29 years now, and it wasn't ever anything that I really wanted to do. It just kind of became what I do, and I guess I'm fairly good at it because I've been doing it for so long, and this is what I do. You know, my main thing on this is to, as far as psychic work, intuitive work, stuff like that, is to take it into the mainstream, to where it can be seen and used and utilized in many different ways. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, well, can you give us examples?
Yeah, right now I'm working with 3 psychotherapists who, whenever they run into a problem with somebody, we go into it with the person involved, and we're able to get deeper into what their problem is so that the therapist can use it to, further their treatment, you say. And it's working. It's working really well. We've got a book coming out in May about it. I'm not sure what the name of it is. I got a working title on now, I guess. But should come out in May or June. And basically then we'll do seminars and kind of show how you can use this stuff to, beyond the just reading people here and there, but take it into where it can really do a lot for people. As far as healing them and that sort of thing.
So would you say that the problems that some people may have actually stem from the paranormal?
A lot of times, yeah.
Really, eh?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I had a girl tell me one time she was actually like in and out of mental hospitals all the time, And she says, I take this drug because I hear voices. And then she says, then I take this drug because I see things that other people don't see. And then I take this because I can kind of feel things. It seems like I can feel people and things. And I says, yeah, I have all those things too. And people give me money for it. You see, they pay me to do it. And I really feel like a lot of times, not all the time, sometimes there are problems, but there are times that people are just really sensitive and they're picking it up.
How can you tell if somebody is sensitive or maybe they do have some problems that need to be further investigated by the medical community?
Yeah. Well, it takes a little bit to do that. A lot of times if somebody is just sensitive, they're fairly realistic about it. Do you say? In other words, they'll say, I was next to my mother and I felt this from her. They'll be pretty realistic. Where somebody with mental problems, and I have worked with some of them, they're like, talking to trees and stuff, and, the trees talking back and that sort of thing. And that's not all that realistic. Now, they can feel, it's understandable to be able to feel a vibe from the tree, but it's probably not going to talk to you too much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand that very well. So tell me about some of the paranormal investigations that you've done over the years.
Well, I've been doing them for years and years, and most of them have been mostly poltergeist type, where they're kind of connected to the person, not necessarily the building or anything like that. I did an investigation at the Baker Hotel a couple times. Actually, I did one for a film crew from up in your area, from Canada, and that was in 2003, I think it was. But like one real real vivid one is like we went to this guy's house, and supposedly they were saying that toys were being thrown and that his wife's head was pushed against the wall, and stuff like that, And that's really the only ones I go to. I don't really go just to play. I want to go in there. I want something to be going wrong, or it's really not going to be worth. It's not something I want to do. Okay. And this particular time, they were really having a lot of problems. I mean, the wife got her head hurt and everything like that. And so when I went in there, I walked around a little bit, and then I found the room where it was kind of located. And just as I walked in there, the girlfriend I had at the time got grabbed around the throat. So there was some stuff going on there, no doubt. And there was a point where I had the guy. I knew I had him because there was this, like a vibration or a buzz that I was feeling. And the guy acted like he wanted to fight. The homeowner did. And I felt my body kind of move on its own. All of a sudden, I felt this, like something left me really fast. And as soon as it did, the guy hit the wall. And that was one of the most, violent ones, other than furniture being thrown, stuff like that. But and even in that case, we would get rid of the spirit, and he would come right back. And turns out when I had a hold of him, they asked what his name was, and it turned out the name of the guy was this homeowner's stepfather, who had been beating him when he was little, and apparently they still had stuff they didn't figure out yet. And so we got rid of him, and I guess a few weeks later it came back, and then him and the wife split up, and she's still in the house, and she doesn't have any problem at all now.
Why is it that some people have these experiences with the paranormal, where they get these spirits attached, and other people just go through life without even having any attachment with the paranormal whatsoever?
Well, I think it's more that they allow it. Some people, like some noises will go on in the house, and people will go, it's just settling the house, or the trees hitting the side of the building, or whatever. They'll explain it whatever way they need to. Where somebody that is really open to it or really afraid of it will just really connect. And the way I kind of worked it out is it's kind of like a vibrational connection. You know, if you allow yourself to really get into it, you say you have a spirit there,
Right.
and you allow yourself to connect to it, even either by fear or by, you know, interest, then it's going to complete that connection. And then they're there for you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So how do you actually get these spirits or these demonic possessions to leave go and go back to wherever it is they come from, and to leave these people alone?
Well, one of the things we do, a lot of times people will just go and do these meditations, or they'll use sage. The Native Americans always use sage. And pretty much every religion, every spiritual belief system around the world had some sort of cleansing herb that they would burn. And so you can do it that way, and we've done it to where you would do these chants and stuff to raise the vibration in the room, and that would get rid of them. For long term, I always advise people to either, like move their furniture, or also, or burn sage or burn an oil all the time, or leave music on just so you can barely hear it. And a lot of times that'll get rid of them because it'll change the vibration. All you want to do is change the vibration. That's all you need to do, you know.
Why is
it's easier than it sounds. Yeah.
So what is the attraction, or what is the connection between the vibration and demonic or spiritual attachment?
Well, it's a lot of times when you get the demonic stuff, or what people perceive as demonic, it's like a low-level spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they say the Ouija board is such a problem in that area. Mainly that's because people are trying to scare each other. So you're bringing in the very vibration that is, conducive to that. Do you say? Where, somebody that's really positive and really just going on about their business, they may bring in their, Aunt Mabel or somebody they like.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Where a lot of the bad stuff comes with people that are based in fear or are needing that for some reason. Do you say?
If a person has a negative attitude compared to a person who has a positive attitude, would the person with a negative attitude be more apt to draw spirits and demons to them?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah.
Is that because of the difference in vibrationary frequencies?
Absolutely. That's the way I see it.
Okay.
It always seems to work that way. Yeah. Yeah.
So when you go in and you help someone to get rid of the spirit or exorcise the spirit, how do you make sure that spirit does not come back and cause more havoc in the person's life?
Well, I teach them how to keep it away. What to do, how to keep it away. If they do feel something, what to do about it, that sort of thing. So it's not just I go over there and I get rid of them and it's all good.
Right.
Because the main thing is not to get them to bring it back. And, it's kind of like those things like you go, okay, is it gone? Is it gone?
Is it gone?
Maybe. I wonder if it's gone.
Yeah.
And then it's not gone.
So in your opinion, as a paranormal investigator, Ouija board is a no-no?
Yeah. Well, it depends on how you work it, If you use it and you use it with a positive attitude, as opposed to trying to scare each other, then then you'll bring different stuff. You'll bring different spirits. You see? I mean, you can bring negative stuff doing anything, like chants. A lot of these, not pagan, a lot of the satanic people will do that. They'll do a lot of this pretty negative stuff, and that'll bring in some low-level spirits for sure,
So why do you think people have a fascination with the paranormal where they would actually go out of their way to try and bring a negative entity across the threshold?
Yeah. Well, a lot of people can sense that there's something beyond where we are. So I think everybody, even if they say that they don't, I think there's a piece of them that's kind of going, well, probably there might be though, So they have a little bit of what if, and a lot of the people that are bringing in that negative stuff, they're trying to feel some power. You see, they feel kind of like gangsters. They get with each other because they feel the negative stuff makes them feel powerful. You see that, and that's when the people get in trouble.
Are you finding that more and more people are turning to the paranormal, and is the ratio of younger people increasing in their quest or their query into the strange, the weird, and the bizarre?
Oh yeah, it's out of control now. When I started, you had to know somebody to find someone like me, and then I used to get death threats because people were so against it. And then, now, you can't, swing a cat without hitting somebody that says they do this, at least not where I'm at.
So why do you think that society is more open to it today than they were, let's say, 10, 15 years ago?
Well, a lot of it has to do with the media. Before, you probably know this, before, a long time ago, the only one that did anything like this was Art Bell. And when I tried to get my radio show on in the late 90s, man, I'm in Dallas, and I went to every station here, and nobody would do it. But now it's just out of control.
Sure.
And the movies and these like John Edwards was one of the first to really get it going. And then people got used to that, and then pretty soon everybody and their dog's doing it.
Yeah, in fact, we were on air before Art Bell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So what do you do? What do you suggest we do with society? Should we tell them about the pros and cons of dabbling with the paranormal? And if we did, do you think they'd take any heed?
Well, they will. What needs to be done, and that's one of the things I'm focusing on now, because I've been doing it so long, I really don't get into a lot of the oohs and ahs of it anymore. You say. So what I do is I literally teach classes on how it works, why it works, and how you can kind of tell what's real and what isn't. You see. And that's, like I said, what I was doing with these psychotherapists. Basically, I teach that basically it's all based on vibrational frequency.
Right.
You raise your vibration, you can feel it. When you raise your vibration, you can feel your mood changes, your outlook changes, many prejudices you may have will go away for a short time, if you raise your vibration like that. And if it's low and you're feeling depressed and sad or whatever, or angry, then all you get is negative. Do you see? It's all junk then, because the vibration's that low. Do you follow?
Yeah.
And I kind of liken it to a tornado. If you think about a tornado, every part of a tornado is running at the same speed. Okay, same power. The only difference is the one on the ground is tearing things all up because its power is so condensed. Excuse me.
Sure.
But then when you get to the top of the tornado, it's wide-reaching and it's not near as destructive. Do you see? But it's wide-reaching. It's just kind of a metaphor that I use. It's once you get your vibration high enough, you don't feel the need to scare yourself or scare anybody else, and you don't need to be afraid, and all that stuff kind of goes away.
Robert, are you finding that more and more people in your area and those who come to you for your assistance, that more and more people are actually getting into past life regression?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot more of those lately. Yeah, it's and really that's where I started too.
Really?
Since I used to be a drug dealer. And I used to fight for money and stuff like this. And I was trying to break that because I had my little boy, and I didn't want him to follow me into that kind of life.
Right.
So I was in Hollywood, and I just, I found myself in part of my life I needed to figure something out. And I went to the Bodhi tree down there on Melrose Avenue back then. And this was a long time ago in the 80s. Anyway, when I went there, I found a trade paper, and I just kind of thought I'd kill $100, somehow.
Sure.
And I found a guy named Michael Green from South Africa, and I went and got a regression from him. And that changed my life, because what it did was show me the essence of why I was so angry all the time. And once I found that, I was able to kind of unravel things to where I was able to break anger blocks, so that maybe something wouldn't make me angry anymore where it used to before.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I would break these blocks, my intuition got stronger. And next thing I know, man, I'm reading people and I'm making a living at it, and then it got out of hand. I mean, it kind of got out of hand, got really rolling.
So do you think that you were actually possessed by negative forces when you were dealing drugs? Was there a connection between the downside of drug trafficking compared to the, or in accordance with the negative parts of the paranormal, or are they two separate things?
That'd be two different things. I really didn't care anything about paranormal. I didn't even think about it. It just came to me one day. And it wasn't so much that I had any possession or anything. Mm-hmm. It was like I was raised by a kind of a gangster.
I see.
And a guy that was all about, the measure of a man is how many people he can beat up.
Mm.
Do you see?
Yeah.
And so that's how I was raised. I was raised in a really violent, very, very aggressive family, And so I was raised, and being a sensitive guy, I was born sensitive. So being a sensitive guy in that kind of environment, I got kind of twisted. You know what I mean?
I sure do. So, Robert, you and I have to take a commercial break with the news at the bottom of the hour. Please stand by. Thanks very much for joining us tonight. Really enjoying our talk.
All right, cool.
All right, Exonation. Robert Caruso is my guest of this hour. Here's his website, www.robertcarusoonline.com. That's robertcarusoonline.com. 800-610-7035, worldwide toll-free. Email exxon@exxonradiotv.com, and all social media sites, Exxon Radio TV. And our main website, where you can listen to the Exxon 724 365, as well as on Radio X in Belgium, www.exxonradiotv.com. Robert Caruso is my guest. We'll be back on the other side of this break. Don't go away. Listening to the X Zone Broadcast Network, www.xzbn.net. Good real estate websites are not just about showing listings, but offering visitors valuable information about neighborhoods, market statistics, tips, and personal insights. Luckily, you will find that on Roost, but you won't on many other real estate websites in Budapest. That's why we created Roost. Roost is a website with tailored results for the foreign investor, curated by Hungarian-loving expats who found their home abroad and decided to roost in Budapest. Let Roost help you get started on the right foot. Whether you intend to live, work, play, retire, or simply invest abroad, Roost offers all types of properties in Budapest, from affordable studios to luxury homes. From neighborhood insights like where to grab a great coffee or how to buy property, our team of local experts can answer your questions and speak to the direct concerns of a foreign investor. Buying foreign property is an exciting and complex adventure. It can also be very time-consuming and costly if you don't have the best information and resources at hand. Roost provides professional real estate services and assistance to an international clientele of foreign property investors and rental apartment owners in Budapest. For more information on Roost, visit their website at www.roost.co. That's www.rooste.co.
While science pursues fact, magic accesses the quantum level, bridging random facts to form truth. As long as science and magic remain separate and polarized, the truth cannot be known. I'm Wilda Wieka. Join me on the Science of Magic radio program dedicated to unification and evolution of consciousness. During each episode, I'll be speaking with experienced and respected scientists and mystics. From astrologers to astronomers, from medical doctors to shaman, the scientific method to dowsing and intuition, we will weave together information from seemingly divergent practices to promote unity and enlightenment. Join me, Wilda Wieka, and the Science of Magic right here on the X-Zone Broadcast Network. For more information, visit www.thescienceofmagic.net.
Wouldn't you love to know the secret to everything? Well then, meet Dr. Kimberly McGeorge and her cutting-edge breakthrough knowledge that combines science with possibility. Dr. Kimberly brings real-life answers and healing to those open to alternative solutions. She teaches solution-based programs and classes that will change all areas of your life forever. Specializing in conscious creation, intuitive readings, and energy medicine, you can rapidly shift health, relationships, business, and money and abundance challenges quickly. Receive her best-selling book, Secret to Everything, at no cost by going to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone. That's right, transformation can start now. Just go to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone and receive Dr. Kimberly's book for free.
You're listening to the X-Zone Broadcast Network, www.xzbn.net.
Little children aren't the only ones afraid of the dark. Millions of soldiers return from war zones with PTSD, anger, frustration, fear, and loneliness, much of which surfaces during the darkness of the night. You have the chance to change the lives of these American heroes. Songs and Stories for Soldiers.us provides free MP3 players for these men and women. With a list of 3 million songs in 16 different styles, 100,000 audiobooks, and 30,000 old-time radio programs, every veteran can find something to soothe and comfort them at no cost. All our players contain an 8-hour audio program designed to help veterans fall asleep. With 1,500 plus vets now participating, it's our goal to deliver 10,000 audio players this year. Go to our website at songsandstoriesforsoldiers.us. Help us help a veteran make it through the night.
You're listening to the X-Zone Broadcast Network, www.xzbn.net. Radio's authority on the world of the paranormal and the science of parapsychology, celebrating 25 years of broadcasting around the world and to the great beyond. Welcome back, everyone. Robert Caruso is our special guest this hour. www.robertcarusoonline.com. And Robert, thanks very much for joining us tonight all the way from Dallas, Texas. Have you found the weather very strange down in that part of the world?
And the summer was almost not there.
Really, eh? Well, you know, up here in Canada, we're used to having snow at this time of the year. And next to none all winter. You know, it's like an early spring day outside today.
Yeah, it is here too. Yeah.
It's really crazy. Listen, I also understand that you do some shamanistic work.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been doing that for a long time, but recently I think is what you're really looking at is the Munich rites. And that's what I'm doing a lot of that now. And that came from Alberto Villordo. He got it from down there in the Andes. It was handed down by the Laika Indians. And it's a series of rites of passage, you might say. And it's pretty powerful stuff. I mean, it can really do a lot with you. And everybody's different.
Can you give us some examples?
Well, there was this a guy. He was involved in all that Agent Orange stuff and stuff in Vietnam.
Right.
And he was like overweight, and he was on all these pills, and he was an alcoholic. He was having all these problems, and he did the Munich rites, and he lost like 100 pounds after the rites. He attributes it to the rites. He lost 100 pounds. He quit drinking. He's off the pills. He had a little bit of he had to rebalance himself a little bit, but when he got done, I mean, it changed his life. And I've had people who were normally shy that they become not shy. I've had, one guy change his name. It hit him so hard, And myself, I was going through really one of the darkest times of my life. And the Munich rites, once I got them, it's like everything started lightening up and starting to heal again, you say. And it's pretty fascinating stuff. It really is.
How did you find out about this?
Well, like I said, I was going through this. Like one day, everything in my life just spun out.
Wow.
And it was pretty strange. And luckily, there was a friend of mine who knew a shaman who was just coming through this area. And I got the rights from them. And by the time I got the third right, I was like whistling show tunes, man. And I was really emotionally having a lot of problems. But when I got the third right, it was like I was whistling show tunes. I was in love with everything. It was ridiculous. So, I mean, I still needed to heal through more stuff, but it took the edge off so that I could get things worked out, do you say? And fascinating stuff.
Tell me about spirit animal discovery.
Yeah, I've been doing that for a lot of years. And one of the cool things about that is, well, I'll give you a little bit on that.
Sure.
When I started doing this stuff, I did it because I was angry, but I was also, the anger was covering a lot of shyness. So, which is really, well, anyway, it was covering shyness. Once I let go of the anger, the shyness showed up. And I was trying to break that. And this shaman that I know, she was telling me about it, that you can connect with these animals, and everybody has different ones, or, you connect with these animals and actually use their characteristics and that sort of thing to heal yourself and to, develop.
So would they be the animal totems?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. And the cool thing about them, you can use them with different types of meditative type of work. For example, when the shyness came back, I was involved with, doing like movie and live stunts. That's what I was doing. And I was into the metaphysics so deeply that I was wanting to put it on the air, on the radio. And like I said, nobody wanted it. And when I managed to get it on the air, it's my first day with the mic. And I was like, hyperventilating, having all this stuff going on, right? So I hooked up with one of my power animals, which was a lion. And then I had also a sea otter. And I hooked up with it as the mic came on. And then it was like it just came natural. And then it was no problem at all. Do you see? You can use these things. Not only can you use power animals to develop your own psyche, your own abilities, and your own being, but you can also use them to understand other people. You say, so what you can do is you can look at somebody and imagine what kind of animal they are, which would be their main power animal or power animal that is around their personality or their being, their who they are.
Right.
And when you figure out what kind of animal that is, then you know how to deal with them. You see? So, say somebody was, as I said, say somebody was an otter.
Okay.
Okay. Kind of a cute person, cute animal, kind of cuddly looking, and you can play with them a little bit unless you make them mad. And then it's a problem. Do you see what I'm saying? Or if you have a snake, maybe they're not going to tell you, or they're not going to be very open for you. Do you say? Or, there's just the animals themselves basically will tell you the characteristics of the person you're dealing with. Do you see?
I gotcha.
Yeah, it's a trip. When I teach people how to do intuitive work, that's the first technique.
So what are the ways that you can actually teach somebody to be intuitive? Like when you're doing your courses, when you're giving your lectures, how would you tell somebody who wants to be intuitive but they don't think they have it in them? How can you actually get them to get the message?
Well, I can talk to them for a couple minutes, and I can show them where they use it already. Okay, and here's a good example. I had a store here in the Richardson area by Dallas. It's called it's a metaphysical store. And these couple police came in, and they were looking to see if I was legit or not. And so they were, questioning me and stuff. And the guy says, "So what do you do here?" I says, "Well, I teach psychic work, and I do psychic readings and that sort of thing, paranormal." And he looked at me like I slapped his mother. You know what I mean? And I said, "Well, look at it this way. What if you were able to walk up on a guy, know if he's the right guy, know if he's holding a weapon, know if he's going to run?" He just looked at me, he goes, "I like to think I already do that." I says, "You do. I teach you how to do it better." And he was okay after that. You see? Everybody has the ability. I can just help them enhance it. It's just, and here's a real good one. This older lady comes to me, and she had been going to class after class and after class, and she was going, all these people are seeing all these things and doing, all these colors and beings and stuff. And she says, "I can't see anything. I'm just not capable." Well, what I did, I showed her a picture of my dog Leo. He's a boxer. And I said, "I want you to imagine, I want you to use your imagination. I want you to touch his fur. Can you imagine what it feels like?" And she goes, "Yeah." I said, "Can you imagine what it would feel like to slide your hand into his body and have it come down into his right paw?" She goes, "Well, yeah." I said, "Okay, now do that with your shoulders. Get your shoulders in there." And I had her get her whole body into the dog in her imagination, right? Then I said, "Okay, now, what does it feel like to be there?" And she went, "Well, he feels this and this, and I feel this and this." I says, "Okay, do you feel any injuries or anything like that?" And she was able to pick up that he had a bad hip.
Wow.
And she started to cry because she was all of a sudden able to do it, And I've done this with a whole room full of people. And this stuff is not magic. Well, what do you would call magic? I don't know. But it's not that hard.
Then why is there so much mystery surrounding it? If it's something that's not magic but normal, natural.
Well, because we've been taught that we're not supposed to have it. And, I guess there's biblical stuff that says you're not supposed to. A lot of people think you're demonic if you do it. And not so much anymore, but it was that way. And like I said, most people just think you're not supposed to be able to do it. And it's just not true.
So would you say that the organized religious philosophies have a lot to do with the negative connotations that the paranormal has?
Absolutely. Yeah. Because what it is, you know, the churches or the organized religion had really the chokehold on the population. And they don't, you know, people aren't going to revere you very much if they think they're as good as you are. You know what I'm saying? So people were like taught that if they were seeing or feeling something in the paranormal or whatever, that they were demonic or they were possessed or something like that, you know. And the truth is, they were seeing it too. Everybody, it's always there. It's always been there.
So take the control factor away from the religious philosophies, and the paranormal becomes very normal.
Becomes absolutely normal, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because everybody just kind of, and you know, innocently, everybody bought into the lie, man.
Something that I'm asking all people who have psychic abilities these days is to get their take on the 2016 elections. You know, like it's rather ridiculous. You know, like it's kind of funny. You've got Donald Trump, a Republican, Ted Cruz, Rubio, Jeb Bush. What the hell he's still doing there, I don't know. And then on the other,
I know, right?
On the other side of the coin, in the Democratic arena, you have. Let me see, Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton, even though Governor Kasich is trying his very best to keep in there. But so what do you see?
Oh, Bernie Sanders will beat it. Matter of fact, I believe Elizabeth Warren will wind up being his vice president. Okay?
Yeah.
And the reason is, this kind of an interesting time right now. Because, you remember, I mean, I don't know, you probably heard, I'm sure you did, the whole Armageddon thing. Good against evil, last battle.
All
this kind of stuff. Okay, when I heard it, it was really outlandish story.
Yeah.
But the basis of it is good against evil.
Yep.
Now, as a being, as the population, the human race, or whatever, as we grow as entities, we raise that vibration, and then things become less. There's less meism. In other words, you don't want to, mistreat animals or women or anything, and you start growing in your mind and spirit. So everybody matters. You see, as you grow, everybody starts mattering more and more. Mm-hmm. The people like Donald Trump, he's all about power, and he's all about himself. He wants to put a big old Trump stamp right on the front of that White House, you see? And the thing about it, he's all about beating somebody, winning, beating somebody, not cooperation, not whatever, not living together harmoniously. Mm-hmm. He's all about just beating somebody, do you see? And the rest of those guys are the same thing. They're just running business as usual, So is Hillary Clinton, by the way. You see, she's just doing it for the other side of the fence. But it's basically the way it's always been through the time, Right. There's a ruling race, and then there's the rest of the people that are getting stepped on. And that stuff is changing, Starting in 2012, all that stuff started to flip. A lot of people, if you remember, thought 2012, the next day, you're going to be able to read minds. But the truth is, all that was the beginning of the beginning, mm-hmm. really. And the scale started to tip. And that's what's happening now. You see, look at all the laws we got now that protect animals that weren't there before. It's getting better. The world's getting better is what I'm saying.
So do you think that there's hope for the human race?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. This is an awesome time to be alive, even though it's weird. It's an awesome time to be alive because we're seeing the change of the world. Do you see?
Positive changes.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Positive changes, absolutely. We see a lot of squirrely stuff too. That's that's kind of like the last fight of the animals. Not good animals either. You know, the evil, not evil, but the negative, fighting to survive. You know what I mean?
I do. Tell me, Robert, what's your take on the UFO ET scenario?
Oh, I'm totally into that. I know that's going on. I've seen them. Yeah. When I was 16, I saw one go across the sky. I was at a drive-in movie right across the street from the Tinker Air Force Base in Oklahoma. And one went right across the sky. You can see the lights, and all of a sudden it looked like it burst into flames, and then it disappeared. Everybody in the drive-in movie got out of their cars. Of course, they explained it with some other nonsense,
sure.
But that happened, you know.
Why do you think, here we are in the year 2016, why do you think that the government may be suppressing the information about UFOs?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with a lot of people, if they just kind of throw it out there, even though it seems like a lot of people be okay with it, there's a lot of people that freak out. You know what I mean?
Is it because
Start a real panic.
They're facing the unknown, or is it because there is an imminent fear that they do have something to be afraid of?
Well, it's afraid of the unknown. You know, if these guys are able to come here in spaceship, they're afraid they're here to eat us or something. Remember that whole Twilight Zone episode?
Yeah.
Anyway, they're afraid of the unknown, just like, you know, people are racist because they're afraid. You know, and it's still just the same thing. Only, you know, UFOs carry a little bit more. They got a little more, I guess. You know,
they're a little bit more newsworthy, right? Hey, listen.
Newsworthy, exactly.
Exactly. Robert, first of all, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. It's been a great pleasure talking to you. I wish you continued success, and let our listeners know how they can find out more about you, or maybe they'd like to contact you for a one-on-one reading.
Okay. Yeah, well, my website is www.robertcarusoonline.com. And my phone number is 469-546-8017. I'm also on Facebook. As a matter of fact, we're connected on Facebook. And that's how you do it.
Hey, Robert, don't be a stranger. Come back and visit us again.
Anytime, buddy.
All right, you take care of yourself. Thanks very much, Robert. Continued success, buddy.
All right.
Bye-bye now.
You too. Catch you.
Bye-bye. Exo Nation, Robert Caruso was my guest this hour. www.robertcarusoonline.com. That's www.robertcarusoonline.com. Well, that's it for tonight. Another 4 hours up, 4 hours down. This is the X Zone. I am Rob McConnell. And we've been coming to you live and around the world from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, and in Europe on Radio X. So until tomorrow night, as once again we cross the time-space continuum together, if you can help somebody out, make a difference in their life, a positive difference. And always keep your eyes to the sky and your heart to the light. Good night, everyone.